Okay, so hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to the special session wherein we are going to discuss the monetary policy of RBI latest for the April 2026. Right? Could you please confirm in the live chat that everything is fine with my audio and video so that we can start with the session? Or let me check it from my own end so that we can. Okay, great. I think everything is running fine. So let's just start with this. We can say very important monetary policy. We are going to discuss what has happened so far. So there are two things in the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee, and then we have Statement on Development and Regulatory Policies, in which the policies are being introduced by the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee, that is going to be implemented in upcoming 2 months. And then we have questions as well. So obviously, this Monetary Policy Committee was, conducted between April 6 to 8 in 2026. And who governed this committee? Obviously, the RBI governor is the one who chairs this particular committee. That is Sanjay Malhotra sir, who have chaired this committee. Who are the other members? The other members are again very important. You can remember their name. They can be asked in your examination. So these are Dr. Nagesh Kumar, Shri Sogatta Bhattacharya, Professor Ram Singh, Dr. Poonam Gupta, and Shri Indranil Bhattacharya. They all attended the meeting along with the RBI governor. The next meeting that is going to be issued, or we can say conducted by the RBI here, is June 3 to 5. The next meeting will be conducted in this particular period. So RBI, or we can say the Monetary Policy Committee, pre-decides the dates well in advance that when we are going to conduct the committee. So there are certain key changes that we need to understand. So basically, the repo rate is being unchanged as compared to the previous decision that were made by the RBI governor. They said that we are going to, keep the repo rate 5.25%. That is unchanged as we compare it with the previous or recent MPC. The standing deposit facility is 5%, marginal standing facility is 5.5%, and the bank rate is also 5.5%. So as you know that the policy corridors looks like this, and there is a floor rate which is SDF. In this case there is a, we can say, ceiling rate which is MSF, and then in middle there is repo rate. So you can see here the repo rate is 5.25, this is 5%, and this one is 5.50%, and accordingly bank rate is there. MSF is for the emergency, that is on an overnight basis. When bank needs funds from the RBI, they are going to get the funds from the RBI at this particular rate at a higher price. Okay, so that is on an overnight basis, that means for a shorter period of time. If I talk about bank rate is also same as MSF, but it is being charged for the longer period of time. So whatever banks going to get some money from the RBI as a loan, they are going to be charged with 5.5% for a long term loan. Okay, so as we get to know about the rates, now we need to understand about the policy stance. Now the policy stance has been kept neutral. They have said that we are not planning to increase or decrease the interest rates as of now. We are going to keep it as it is, and we are going to have a wait and watch approach according to the scenario of the global and the domestic, we can say, situation. Because again, we have to see that what exactly is happening and what is the, we can say, effect of that changes happening on our domestic country. So they have kept it neutral with that particular logic. Okay, what is the global outlook? So we understand what is happening at the global level. Then we will come to the domestic level. Then we will see that what are the risk factors and the supporting factors at the Indian level. Then we will again classify that in the growth perspective and the inflation perspective, right? So this is how we are going to look at the MPC. So first thing is global outlook. That is West Asian conflict is happening due to the because of which the global supply is getting impacted, right? The global supply chain is being affected. So what would be the, we can say, return on that? What would be the impact of that? Impact would be high prices of the energy goods, say oil, we can say, or coal, that will be getting costly for us. Slower global growth. So obviously there is a West Asian countries which are fighting with each other. There is a war-like situation. So your global growth will get impacted by that. In this situation, the monetary policy thinks that we need to have a control. We need to have a balance between the inflation while also having a control over the economy. we need to look after the inflation. That means inflation should not be reaching to the highest bar. Now the what is the flexible inflation targeting for us? The inflation targeting is 2% to 6%. We need to ensure that our inflation is between this range, and if it exceeds, we are going to manage it while also considering the economy's growth, right? The bond yield have risen further due to inflation fears, right? Because there is a lot of inflation fear, people are demanding high money, people are demanding high return. So hence, because of this, the bond yield means your return. So your bond yield are being expected to be risen in the future rate, right? So this is the major change that is happening at this point of time, as per the MPC, which is being provided by the RBI. Then comes your equity market. So equity market is moderating. That means it is declining. पहले बहुत ज़्यादा pressure था over the equity, that there was a lot of investment that was coming at that point of time. अब उसे reduce कर दिया गया. That means people are taking out their money and keeping it with themselves, because again uncertainty है, global level पर uncertainty है, तो people are not positive about the fact that everything will run smoothly, right? Then the US dollar has been strengthened and the emerging markets currencies are being getting affected. मेरा कहने का मतलब क्या है? My meaning with this particular sentence is that people are considering dollar as a safe haven currency. At times of paying the import bills, at times of paying the we can say global level bills, they are using dollars. So dollars demand has been increasing over the period of time because of the uncertainty issue that is there in the global level. Hence that is putting a lot of pressure on other currencies like rupee and other emerging countries rupees and their respective currencies, right? So इसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है? That why people are so uncertain कि उन्हें पता नहीं है कि कितनी देर तक ये वॉर चलेगी या फिर कितना टाइम और लगेगा to settle these things down. So this is what they are thinking about. So at a global level, because of the war, the supply chain is being affected, जिसकी वजह से inflation आ सकता है, and so on and so forth. Emerging countries like India could get hurt with this. डोमेस्टिक आउटलुक यानी कि हमारे इंडिया का आउटलुक कैसा है, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट दैट. गुड इवनिंग मनीष, गुड इवनिंग. सो इंडिया का आउटलुक देते हैं तो एमपीसी सेज दैट the India is strong enough, and because why? Because the GDP growth is 7.6%. There are some growth factors. What are the growth factors? What are the supporting factors which is increasing, or we can say supporting this GDP growth? The first one is private consumption. That is, the people are demanding goods and services. They are confident about the upcoming scenario in India. And then there is investment. People are ready to invest their money in Indian market, and hence we can say yes, the Indian economy is strong enough. If we talk about exports are getting weaker for our economy. Why? Because people in the foreign countries are not demanding our goods anymore, right? So that is the first reason. Because the demand have loosened, our exports have also been weakened. However, on the supply sides, that means the suppliers, the key drivers which are driving our economy, which are creating the GDP, which are creating the supply side, they are showing good growth. That is, the GVA growth is 7.7%. That is, हमारा जो सर्विस सेक्टर है और जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्टिविटीज हैं, दे आर रॉबस्ट इन नेचर, दे आर वर्किंग वेल, दे आर परफॉर्मिंग वेल. So because of these many supporting factors, we are saying that our domestic outlook is good enough. Our domestic outlook is good enough. Okay, तो हमने ग्लोबल के बारे में पढ़ा, हमने इंडिया आउटलुक के बारे में पढ़ा. नाउ वी आर गोइंग अहेड विद द फ्यूचर आउटलुक. व्हाट डू वी थिंक अबाउट आवर डोमेस्टिक कंट्री इन द फ्यूचर आउटलुक? सो फ्यूचर में अगर देखा जाए तो फ्यूचर में कुछ रिस्क हैं जो हमारे ग्रोथ को क्या कर सकते हैं, हैम्पर कर सकते हैं. दे कुड स्टॉप आवर growth. So what are these factors? These factors are energy and their commodity prices. मेरा कहने का क्या मतलब है इससे? That means because there is a supply chain disruption as a global level, the energy goods and the commodity prices, their respective prices are going to increase in the market. Then we have supply chain disruption because of the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is one of the important route through which the oil is being exported and major energy commodities are being exported and imported by us. So this has been stopped, because of which there is a supply chain disruption. Second is the third one is global financial volatility affecting India. So because there is a lot of uncertainty, people are not global, at the global level people are finding India's market too much volatile in nature, and hence global financial volatility is also affecting our Indian stock market as well. Okay, क्योंकि many of the foreign investors are taking out their money from Indian stock market to their home countries, so which their effect has been seen in India. Exports may suffer due to the higher shipping and insurance cost. So even if we are able to do some exports, they are having higher cost to our exporters. Why? क्योंकि अब insurance लेनी पड़ रही है उन्हें. What if goods did not get delivered? What if something happens to my good during the transportation, right? तो उसकी कॉस्ट जो है इंक्रीज हो गई है. Then there are certain positive factors as well. Positive factors हैं हमारे पास कुछ जो हमारे future growth को support करेंगे, help करेंगे to grow. The first is the service sector. Our service sector is one of the strongest sector which can help us in growing the GDP growth. Then we have GST reform. Recently अभी GST reform निकाले थे Finance Ministry ने, which have helped for the government to increase their GST. Indirect taxes उनके पास ज्यादा आए. So that recovery, that kind of revenue to the government is going to help them in the future. And then higher capacity utilization for the manufacturing units. Whosoever are the manufacturing units in our domestic countries, right? They are performing really well. They are able to, utilize their resources, utilize their machineries in a better way. And hence we can say, yes, they are using their full capacity. So GDP growth यानी कि production उनकी increase हो सकती है in further. Okay, then government push to boost domestic manufacturing in positive for future growth. तो हमने अभी recently अपने budget में भी देखा है that yes, the government is trying to push the manufacturing units. They are giving a lot of push. They are creating a lot of fund for them so that वो grow करें और भी ज़्यादा in the economy. So these are certain things, right? I hope everything is clear so far. We learned about three things. We learned about global outlook. We learned about, we can say domestic outlook. Then we also talked about the future outlook of our country. Now let's just focus on some numbers क्योंकि हमें अपनी statement को support करने के लिए कुछ numbers भी चाहिए होते हैं. So what are these numbers? So GDP growth हमारी कितनी है? GDP growth is projected at 6.9% for India. So you are going to remember this. That is for the financial year 27. Entire financial year 27, what we are expecting is 6.9%. और इनका quarter wise division भी दिया हुआ है. For now, I won't suggest you to learn these quarter wise, we can say, GDP expectations, but you just need to remember this full year GDP projection. This is the we can say trend that we are expecting कि धीरे धीरे हमारा जो growth है, GDP growth है, that will increase slowly from 6.8 to 7.2%. Okay. अभी के लिए आपको सिर्फ ये वाला याद रखना है for the examination purpose. There are certain risk factors जिसको इन्होंने इस तरह से मार्क क्यों किया है because there are certain risk factors, so उन्हें consider करके they have marked these many we can say growth rate. तो इन्होंने क्या किया है पहले because there is a conflict in the West Asian countries because of this risk है पहला. Then the possible damage could be there to the infrastructure, to the energy infrastructure because there is a lot of warning going from US to Iran that we will destroy your energy infrastructure. So अगर वो infrastructure damage हो जाता है then it is going to increase the prices of the energy goods. तो यहाँ से risk आ सकता है in future and that is the reason we have slightly lower GDP projections. Then weather related uncertainty, El Nino effect नजर में आ रहा है. That means the El Nino effect is the effect which lowers the number of rains or we can say the rain quantity in India. तो जैसे ही rains कम होंगी इंडिया में, बारिशें कम होंगी इंडिया में, that is going to impact the productivity of the agriculture goods. तो weather related uncertainty आ रही है because of El Nino effect. Okay, let's just see what about the inflation, क्योंकि inflation is the thing that RBI need to control, तो उस पर बात करते हैं. So for the CPI, that is your consumer price index, that is very important. We have talked about this. So consumer price index is to be projected at 2.7% in जनवरी में कितना था 2.7% था. अब फरवरी में इंक्रीज होकर कितना हो गया 3.2% हो गया. देखिए वी हैव सीन एन इंक्रीज इन द इन्फ्लेशन फ्रॉम 2.7 to 3.2%. राइट, हमारा इन्फ्लेशन रेट बहुत कम ही बढ़ा है. जैसे कि मान लीजिए कोई चीज 10 रुपए की थी, अब वो कितनी हो गई है 11 रुपए की हो गई है. बिकॉज द बेस वॉज सो लो, द इंक्रीज इज शोइंग टू मच इंक्रीज इन द इन्फ्लेशन रेट. पर इतना इंक्रीज हुआ नहीं है इन द एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स. सो दिस इज व्हाट आरबीआई सेइंग दैट इन परसेंटेज इट इज शोइंग अ ग्रोथ इन 2.7 to 3.2, बट क्योंकि बेस बहुत कम था, दैट इज शोइंग अ ह्यूज इंक्रीज इन द इन्फ्लेशन. हाउएवर द इन्फ्लेशन, द एब्सोल्यूट प्राइसेस ऑफ द गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर स्टेबल इनफ. फिर उन्होंने कोर इन्फ्लेशन की बात करी. दैट मीन्स वी आर एक्सक्लूडिंग फूड, वी आर एक्सक्लूडिंग ऑयल्स फ्रॉम द इन्फ्लेशन, फ्रॉम द सीपीआई, राइट. तो अगर हम उसकी बात करें तो दैट इज 2.1% स्टेबल. इट इज अनचेंज्ड फॉर प्रीवियस ईयर. ठीक है, प्रीवियस हमारा जो एमपीसी का सेक्शन था उससे कंपेयर किया जाए, इट इज अनचेंज्ड. सो वी कैन से यस, द इन्फ्लेशन इज अंडर कंट्रोल, द इंडिया इज अंडर कंट्रोल इन टर्म्स ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. Food inflation is slightly increasing, which we can see the impact here again because of the monsoon effect. El Nino effect जो हमने देखा है उसकी वजह से food inflation बढ़ने के chances हैं. Inflation future outlook. Now what we are expecting in future, we are expecting inflation to be 4.6%. ये वाला आपको नंबर याद रखना है. That means for the entire year, for the financial year 27, we are expecting 4.6% of the inflation. What are the risk factors that they considered? Again, global conflict is there, El Nino effect is there, then high global energy prices are there. So all these are going to affect our, inflation outlook. But there is one good factor which is supporting what? Our Indian inflation. What is that? That is Rabi crops improves food supply. तो जो Rabi crops हुई थी, they have a good food supply. हमारे पास enough storage है for the upcoming period. पर हमारे पास वो good factor है that is going to stay there for next few months. Right? Let's just move ahead with the MPC decision making. तो अब इनके पास ये सब factors थे, right? Then how do they make the decision? How do they end up making such decisions of not changing the interest rate at all? तो इन्होंने review किया entire economy को. They decided that see, the economy shows strong momentum. Our domestic country, that is India, is showing strong momentum. That means the growth is good. Our inflation is also under control, right? Inflation is also under control. We just discussed about it. And they said, yes, there are certain risks. West Asian conflict is there. Supply chain issues are there. High prices that may arise in the energy products. Even if after that we can say government से हमें थोड़ा बहुत support भी मिल सकता है, जहां पर they may reduce the damage of what? Supporting the exports and supply chain को थोड़ा they can support the damage. ठीक है, उसको थोड़ा कम कर सकते हैं, damage को थोड़ा कम कर सकते हैं by the government. पर क्योंकि हमारे पास inflation भी controlled है, growth भी अच्छा है और गवर्नमेंट भी हमें सपोर्ट कर रही है, आई थिंक हमें इन सबसे नहीं डरना चाहिए. द रिस्क दैट आर देयर, हमें उनसे इतना नहीं डरना चाहिए. ओके, सो द एमपीसी सेड दैट वी आर चूजिंग अ वेट एंड वॉच अप्रोच. वी विल सी दैट व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन in the upcoming scenario. Based on that, we are going to see that what are the changes that we need to make in the key rates. So they make repo rate unchanged. They went with the neutral stance. They continued with that and then ready to act based on the future data. They are saying कि अगर हमें बीच में ही MPC लेनी पड़े as per the urgency of the economy, we can take that. पर अभी के लिए we are having wait and watch, we can say approach. अब हम बात करते हैं स्टेटमेंट ऑन डेवलपमेंट एंड रेगुलेटरी पॉलिसीज की. If I talk about that, I must say that this is one of the policies that RBI is going to implement in next 2 months. तो ये policies यानी कि some initiative that RBI is bringing up. तो ये initiatives आपको याद करने हैं. There are certain initiatives. तो पहला जो है वो है रेगुलेशन से रिलेटेड, यानी कि रेगुलेशंस के सेक्टर में ये क्या लेकर आए हैं. तो रेगुलेशन के सेक्टर में they brought up 3 changes. The first change is this: review of guidelines for inclusion of quarterly profits in the CRAR. तो इसमें ये क्या कह रहे हैं? ये कह रहे हैं पहले जब हम CRAR का प्रॉफिट CRAR करते थे, कैलकुलेट करते थे, तो वी वर नॉट इंक्लूडिंग योर क्वार्टरली प्रॉफिट इन द CRAR कैलकुलेशन. तो इससे जो आपका CRAR यानी कि जो एक बफर है, कुशन है, देखिए CRAR क्या है? इट इज द कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी. व्हाट इज दिस? कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी. इन simple language we can call it as cushion, we can call it as buffer. यानी कि at time of hard times, at times of uncertainty, at times of bad times, the bank can use this particular cushion or buffer to safeguard themselves so that they do not get hit too much badly by the uncertainty. तो ये पैसा है कुछ जो banks maintain करके रखते हैं अपने पास for the bad times, right? तो पहले इसमें क्या नहीं इंक्लूड कर सकते थे? क्वार्टरली प्रॉफिट्स नहीं इंक्लूड कर सकते थे. पर अब आरबीआई कह रहे हैं दैट यस, यू कैन इंक्लूड द क्वार्टरली प्रॉफिट्स. वी आर making you free and flexible enough to include the quarterly profits in the CRAR. तो आपका बफर इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, आपका बफर क्या हो जाएगा, इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, तो आपकी सिचुएशन बेटर हो जाएगी. सो दिस हैज बीन डन टू प्रोवाइड मोर फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, टू सिंप्लीफाई द रूल्स एंड टू मेक द कैपिटल कैलकुलेशन इवन मोर इजियर फॉर द बैंक्स. कहीं पर डाउट लगे बीच में ही बता देना, सो दैट वी कैन रिजॉल्व योर डाउट in detail. The second change in the regulation is review of guidelines on investment fluctuation reserve. Right? The problem is that every bank have to maintain investment fluctuation reserve, IFR. IFR मेंटेन करना होता है हर एक बैंक को. मैम ये क्या होता है? This is a kind of reserve that is to be maintained by bank for any fluctuation which is happening in their investment. मैम एग्जाम्पल से समझाइए. व्हाई नॉट? सो देयर इज एन एग्जाम्पल. मान लीजिए बैंक ने किस में इन्वेस्ट किया था? बॉन्ड्स में इन्वेस्ट किया था, राइट? सपोज दे इन्वेस्टेड 10 लाख रुपीज इन द बॉन्ड्स, बट अब नए बॉन्ड्स इशू कर दिए हैं गवर्नमेंट ने, और वो क्या ज्यादा प्रॉफिट प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं, ज्यादा रिटर्न दे रहे हैं टू द इन्वेस्टर्स, टू द न्यू इन्वेस्टर्स. तो इस तरह से जो पुराने बॉन्ड्स जो बैंक होल्ड करता था उसके प्राइसेस अपने आप ही कम हो गए, क्योंकि उसकी डिमांड कम होगी. एज डिमांड रिड्यूसेस द प्राइसेस रिड्यूसेस. तो बॉन्ड प्राइसेस जो पहले 10 लाख के थे, अब वो कितने हो गए? 9 लाख रुपए के हो गए इन मार्केट. दैट इज इन द करंट मार्केट प्राइस कितना हो गया? 9 लाख रुपीज हो गया. तो दिस इज अ लॉस फॉर द बैंक. आज वो अगर अपने 10 लाख के बॉन्ड्स बेचना चाहे तो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी सोल्ड विद 9 लाख रुपीज. सो दैट इज अ हर्ट, दैट इज अ वी कैन से अ हार्मफुल इफेक्ट ऑफ व्हाट? द इशुएंस ऑफ न्यू बॉन्ड्स इन द मार्केट. तो पहले क्या करते थे? इसके लिए IFR मेंटेन करते थे. एक ऐसा रिजर्व है जिसमें ये कुछ पैसे जोड़कर रखते थे बैंक, सो दैट इन केस देयर इज एनी वी कैन से प्राइस रिडक्शन इन द इन्वेस्टमेंट, वी कैन हैंडल इट एंड वी हैव इनफ रिजर्व फॉर दैट. ठीक है? तो अब क्या है? what they are doing that is they are saying that you do not need to maintain such IFR. Why? Because they are saying you have already catering to the मार्केट रिस्क कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट. ओके, आप ऑलरेडी मार्केट रिस्क कैपिटल मेंटेन कर रहे हैं अपने पास, यानी कि मार्केट से आने वाले रिस्क के लिए आप ऑलरेडी कैपिटल मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, आप ऑलरेडी पैसा अपने पास रख रहे हैं. तो ये भी जो रिस्क है IFR, ये भी तो मार्केट रिस्क को ही काउंटर करता है. तो इससे क्या मतलब हो गया? कि डुप्लीकेशन हो रही है, डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ द कैपिटल विच इज बीइंग मेंटेन्ड बाय द बैंक. ठीक है? तो इसलिए उन्होंने कहा IFR आप रहने दीजिए, यू डू नॉट मेंटेन IFR एनी मोर एंड यू आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू. You are going to continue with the simple, we can say capital requirement, say market risk capital requirement and strict investment norms. These two things are the one you have to follow, and from the now onwards you will not follow IFR. So ये आपको पता होना चाहिए that IFR will not be maintained by banks anymore. Now there is a third change which is happening in the regulation area, which is first problem is that the bank board had to review too many things. ठीक है? जो बैंक बोर्ड है उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. जो बैंक बोर्ड यानी कि RBI का जो बोर्ड है, दैट वर्क्स ऑन वेरियस थिंग, जहां पर वो स्ट्रैटेजी डिसाइड करते हैं. दे फोकस ऑन की इश्यूज, हमारे कौन से की इश्यूज हैं, कौन से रिस्क हैं जिन्हें हमें मिटिगेट करना चाहिए, ये सब इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें जो हैं वो डिस्कस करते हैं. बट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग दैट देयर आर मेनी अदर थिंग्स, जैसे कि कुछ रिव्यू करना होता है उन्हें, राइट? They might have also need to review a report, release a report. तो ये सब चीजें उनके पास होती हैं. Now, what RBI is thinking that we need to streamline the list of matters that need to be placed before the board. यानी कि बोर्ड के पास क्या क्या डिसीजन मेकिंग आनी चाहिए, बोर्ड के पास क्या क्या आना चाहिए सेटल करने के लिए या फिर डिसीजन मेकिंग करने के लिए, अब वो हम स्ट्रीमलाइन करने वाले हैं. वो कैसे करेंगे इसके बारे में क्लैरिटी ये और देंगे. बट दे आर सेइंग दैट वी आर गोइंग टू स्ट्रीमलाइन एवरीथिंग, कि ऐसा ही नहीं कि कोई भी डिसीजन आकर छोटा मोटा डिसीजन भी यू आर पुटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द वी कैन से RBI's बोर्ड. तो only important decision making will be done by the RBI board. So this has been done to efficiently use the time and energy of the bank board. Okay? क्योंकि सिर्फ important decisions पे ही वो ज्यादा फोकस करे rather than small issues. Then there is one area which is being named as supervisory. In the supervisory area, they have issued this one initiative, that is consolidation of supervisory instruction. In the previous MPC, that is in the previous year MPC, they discussed that 9,000 प्लस रेगुलेशंस को कंपाइल करके वी आर गोइंग टू इशू ओनली 238 रेगुलेशन इन दैट रिगार्ड. ओके, तो ये इन्होंने पिछली बारी किया था, सो दैट ये लेस बर्डनसम करें किसे, बैंक्स को, टू फॉलो द रेगुलेशन, सो दैट इट इज इजी फॉर देम टू फॉलो द बैंक्स वी कैन से आरबीआई रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन. ठीक है, तो अब वो सेम चीज करना चाह रहे हैं, दैट इज दे आर गोइंग टू कंपाइल, दे आर गोइंग टू consolidate all the regulations, that is supervisory instructions, into few regulations. मान लीजिए 200 हैं, तो they are going to count it to say 20 और 30 regulations. तो सिर्फ 20 या फिर 30 regulations रह जाएंगी अगेंस्ट 200. पहले 200 फॉलो करते थे, अब से 20 and 30 रहेंगी बैंक्स के पास. So this is what they are trying to do. So 64 master directions issue की जाएंगी which were covering 9 functional areas. ये आज के आज ही रिलीज कर दी जाएंगी एंड दे विल बी ओपन फॉर द पब्लिक फीडबैक एज वेल. ठीक है, आगे डिस्कस करते हैं. देन देयर इज इन द पेमेंट सिस्टम. पेमेंट सिस्टम में ये एक और इनिशिएटिव लेकर आए हैं विच इज अ ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म. ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. व्हाट इज ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म? सो ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म स्टैंड्स फॉर ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स डिस्काउंटिंग सिस्टम. तो ट्रेड्स में क्या होता है, दैट इट इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर इन वन पर्सन अपलोड्स देयर बिल, दे अपलोड देयर बिल एंड द अदर पार्टी से अ बैंक और एन इंडिविजुअल इन कैश दैट बिल. वो उसके बदले में, उस बिल के बदले में दे आर पेइंग द मनी टू द पर्सन हु हैव दिस बिल. ओके, अब मान लीजिए ये बिल इसके पास कैसे आया, इसने ऑब्वियसली किसी को गुड्स ट्रांसफर करी होंगी और इसने बिल क्रिएट किया होगा उसके लिए, राइट? अब ये जो क्लाइंट है इसका, दे रिफ्यूज दैट आई एम नॉट एबल टू पे यू द मनी राइट नाउ, आई विल पे यू आफ्टर 2 to 3 days. नाउ दिस पर्सन नीड्स मनी राइट नाउ. ओके, सो दिस बिल इज वैलिड, दे कैन अपलोड और वी कैन से सेल दिस पर्टिकुलर बिल in this particular platform and the bank or any individual can encash this particular bill, right? And bank at the time of maturity of this bill can collect the money directly from the client. This is a TReDS bill. तो कोई enterprises है, small level enterprises है, उनको अपना operation, day to day operation continue रखना है for a longer period of time, they can get immediate cash from this TReDS bill. ठीक है, तो banks are helping getting short term loans against these bills for the entrepreneurs. Now they are facilitating one more thing. ठीक है, there is a problem in the TReDS platform. क्या problem है? That whenever a person who want to upload their bill to the TReDS platform, there was a due diligence process that was carried forward by the banks. That means they are making a whole process wherein they are taking a lot of paperwork from the person who is entering into a platform, who they are, from there, where they are coming, right? And what kind of, we can say, process their business is happening, and we can say उनकी क्या जीएसटी रिटर्न्स है या फिर क्या टैक्स लाइबिलिटीज है, वो सब उनको अपलोड करनी पड़ती थी. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी वी कैन से कम्बरसम हम कह सकते हैं ड्यू डिलिजेंट रिक्वायरमेंट है बाय द बैंक. सो दिस वाज क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम फॉर दिस पर्सन, राइट? सो उन्होंने कहा कि अब हम ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट ड्यू डिलिजेंट नहीं रखेंगे. ठीक है, अब हमारी जो ऑन बोर्डिंग प्रोसेस रहेगी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स टू come and join TReDS platform, अब वो हम simplify कर देंगे. So this has been done to simplify the process and ease of doing the business for the entrepreneurs who are onboarding on the TReDS platform. Then lastly in the money market, तो total हमने कितने initiative discuss करे हैं? We have discussed 6 initiatives. ठीक है, तो money market क्या होता है? Money market is a place wherein banks can raise money for less than 1 year. Okay, for less than 1 year. तो short term loan जब चाहिए होता है बैंक्स को, they do not go directly to the RBI that I want money. They first go to the money market and get some money from there, right? तो अभी मनी मार्केट में से 2 ही लोग जो हैं पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. The first one is bank and then we have standalone primary dealers. Only they are the one who are participating in the money market, right? But now they are saying that we need to increase the participation increase करने के लिए they have added more members in the money market like NBFC, AIFI companies, housing finance company who can come and take part in the money market, helping the banks and them also to take short term loans in the money market, राइट तो ये पार्टिसिपेशन अब इंक्लूड कर दी गई दैट मीन्स दीज मैनी पीपल विल ऑल्सो बी एबल टू टेक पार्ट इन दिस पहले सिर्फ 2 ही थे अब ये सब लोग भी आ सकते हैं सो दिस विल प्रोवाइड व्हाट लिक्विडिटी ज्यादा मेंबर्स होंगे तो ज्यादा लोग खरीदने वाले होंगे ज्यादा लोग बेचने वाले भी होंगे राइट so that will give a lot of options to the each and every participant so this will also strengthen the monetary policy transmission as well यानी कि जैसे जैसे guidance आएगी from the monetary policy they will give the guidance to the person as well I hope it is clear this was the last initiative that was given by the MPC now we are going to discuss what the questions so are you ready for the questions right so yes question number 1 which of the following regulatory changes has been proposed by the RBI to simplify the capital computation for the banks okay so they are simply talking about the CRAR I just talked about CRAR कि कुछ पैसा है जो बैंक्स अपने पास रखते हैं फॉर बुरे टाइम के लिए है ना बुरा टाइम आ जाए कभी हाल फिलहाल में तो दे हैव इनफ मनी इन देयर हैंड सो दैट दे कैन डील विद दैट ओके तो पहले वो जो कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी था फंड था उसमें पहले क्वार्टरली प्रॉफिट्स नहीं ऐड होते थे पर अब क्वार्टरली प्रॉफिट्स ऐड होते हैं सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द राइट आंसर इन दिस केस व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द राइट आंसर इन दिस केस डू पार्टिसिपेट if you have understood do participate whatever you think like I'm going to help you or even I have explained you the answer as well yes tell me Manish says B. Right. Manish, you are right. That is allowing the inclusion of quarterly profits without any condition. Right? Let's just move ahead. Question number 2. Which of the following measures has RBI proposed to improve the liquidity and participation in terms of money market? ठीक है पार्टिसिपेशन इंक्रीज करने के लिए इन द मनी मार्केट व्हाट दे हैव डन yes tell me very easy question good Manish is correct here C is the right answer that is expand the participation to NBFC AIFI and companies as well which is housing finance companies in this case so with this we are done with the we can say MPC and I want to tell you that we are offering RBI grade B booster batch 2026 wherein you will get descriptive answer writing you will get special PIB and financial current affair as well you will be guided with the interview as well and weekly and dedicated doubt solving will be done right and personalized mentorship is also being offered in this RBI grade B booster batch as well so you can enroll now right along with this we can say ex CGM that is OP Agarwal is also going to give you some inputs in the RBI booster course so if you really want to have that insight from a RBI officer you can have this course right again this is my telegram group in case you have any kind of guidance do you need right any kind of guidance that you need in your preparation or anything that you want from me and this PDF also that will be available in this telegram group only okay so you user can connect with me easily and any kind of guidance do you need I'll help you with that so with this we are done with the session I hope this is a fruitful session for all of you goodbye everyone do answer me the questions answers okay in the comment section